Those smell weird. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad boys right here. This is a Nike Air Foamposite one in, I suppose, what we can just call the carbon fiber colorway. This is an interesting looking version of the Foamposite one. Definitely not my favorite. It's really bothering me that the carbon fiber graphic doesn't match the carbon fiber plate. Like, it just looks weird. Looks like irritating, like not perfect. If it did, I think that'd be really cool, because then it would be like, whoa, that's sick. But like this just kind of looks a little bit different. I don't know. It just doesn't look the way. I think this works on the Foamposite because there is no carbon plate. It's just a plastic plate. This has an actual carbon plate on there with actual carbon graphics, and it doesn't blend.
Welcome to my world
With the
with
color
the cherry
things?
12s.
Look, I still see. They're beautiful.
Where 4 different reds meet at once.
They did their best. This, they could have tried a little harder. But anyways, the outsole right here is translucent, got a slight blue tint to it. You do have the herringbone traction on there. It's full length, 1 cent logo on the heel. And then you can obviously see the ginormous carbon fiber plate that is in there. This carbon fiber plate is really cool because it acts as 2 different things. One is a spring plate, the other one is a torsion plate. Ooh. The midsole itself is double lasted, meaning that the midsole is inside the upper, and this shoe is stacked with cushion, quite literally. We have full-length Zoom Air, and then in the heel there's an additional Zoom Air unit, just in case the full length wasn't enough. Moving on up, we do have the Foamposite shell, and Foamposite is very interesting. This one, I don't know if it's from the graphic, but they do feel a little firmer than some of the previous ones. They still are soft compared to the original Foamposite material, but these are a little bit firmer than some of the other ones like the Royal and things like that. I will say that the upper itself and the way that it's manufactured is really fascinating. If you guys haven't watched a Foamposite one video of ours yet, I'll just describe it real quick.
All right, people, let's do this one last time.
Basically, this is a polyurethane upper. Polyurethane is the stuff that we see certain insoles made out of, certain midsoles made out of. And up until this point, it really wasn't used for upper materials because it was mostly used for cushion. And at this point in time, 1997, it was damn near obsolete in terms of midsole cushion. So essentially the upper itself was made with a mold, much like a midsole would be. The mold was upside down and they would pour liquid polyurethane into it. Once it would cure, they would take it out and they had this upper right here, which they would then get the midsole wrapped into, get the outsole, the strobles, all of that kind of stuff like attached to it. And it's just like a really interesting way of manufacturing shoes. They were able to like conform this into something slimmer, sleeker, and lighter, which would end up being the Nike Foamposite. And that's where we saw this whole look debut. It was the Nike Foamposite with the carbon fiber graphic on there, and now we've got it on the Foamposite 1. The eye stay area is synthetic nubuck, the way that it should be. I will say that it does, like it to your point of the non-matching colors. This sticks out like a sore thumb. It just looks kind of gray. It just looks bland, but it is black. So just letting you know. Baby swoosh is all black too. That could have been white. You know what I mean? Just to make it pop a little bit more, but they actually muted out everything on this thing. So when you look at the tongue, that's all black. The 1 cent logo that's on the tongue, damn near all black. The 1 cent logo on the rear, also all black. The insole is this guy right here. It's pretty standard in terms of the Foamposite 1. I wouldn't say that this is a piece of insole, but you can take it out and swap it out for anything else that you'd like. I would say that this is a perfect insole for this type of material and this type of shoe because it just goes really well with the overabundance of cushion. Now, in terms of sizing, I personally like to go true to size with Foamposite ones. A lot of people say that they like to go up half a size. If you're a wide footer, I can understand that, but most people, I say go true to size. You should be good to go. Just give them a little bit of time to break in and mold to your foot shape. If you're local to the Sacramento or Elk Grove area, they will be available here over at Phenom. Make sure that you follow them over at Instagram, simply at Phenom Global, to check out all of their launch procedures. Now, with all of that being said, what is today's viewer submitted question of the day?
Today's question of the day comes from the Adidas Anthony Edwards 2 performance review. Why do brands not consider outdoor hooping?
Because primarily people play indoors. That's just what it is, man. Like, sorry. I know that there's a good chunk of people that don't, but the primary basketball player plays indoors nowadays. It's not like it was when we were kids. When we were kids, all the brands would make outdoor specific lines. And I'm not talking about like this and then an outdoor version. I'm talking about like there was like an outdoor line. The Blacktop series for Reebok, the Indestruct series for Nike. And yeah, so like they used to do stuff like that, but just, I don't know what it is over the years people have, I guess it's afforded the luxury of being able to play indoors, because I think that's what we didn't have, is that not only were there not a lot of indoor places to play outside of schools, like we didn't have like the 24 and the LA Fitness, and if we did, we couldn't afford it. But like outside of that, like really, unless you were an AAU player or a school player back then, or back in my day, you know, it sounds weird, but it's true. Back in my day, like that's where you were an indoor player. Everybody else played at the parks and all of that stuff around the blacktop, and that's kind of what it is. Nowadays, there's so many different indoor spaces that you can rent, that you can be a membership of.
Drop in.
Yeah, we got Core over here now, like here in the Sacramento and Elk Grove area, where you don't even have to be a member, even though it's affordable. But just in case you like are here like every once in a while, you can just drop in, pay a member or a drop-in fee, and you have full access to the court now and you can play. It's just a different time. They make shoes for and I've said this many times, but they make shoes for outdoor players, but they release them in Asia. So like when you see on GOAT or StockX, not this shoe, but like if you're looking at, there was something that just came out. I am blanking on what it is. Let me see if I reviewed it. Hold on. So it turns out it was LeBron 23s. You know that we make a lot of videos when I can't even remember what we just made.
Well, I knew obviously because you're going to talk about XDR, so it was going to be a Nike or Jordan, even though the Jordan, it's not XDR, right? It's
like PF or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, but
either way, you go on to StockX or GOAT, and there's two versions of the LeBron 23s. Like if we're just talking about the Miami Twice colorway, right? So like the one that we have here in the States is a clear or a translucent pink outsole, but the one overseas is a solid rubber pink outsole, and it'll be labeled with an XDR label. It's extra durable rubber. It's an overseas or Asia region exclusive, not in the sense that the shoe's exclusive, it's that rubber treatment is exclusive to that region. And that's because the people over there are still primarily outdoor players. They do play inside and stuff, like don't think that like over in China that they never play indoors. That's not the case. They have both versions. So like you can play indoors or outdoors with the shoe, but that's what it is. So if you wanted modern releases with more suitable rubber, unfortunately that's not Adidas. You'd have to go to Nike or Jordan and go to some place like ID for Shoes over on eBay and check out those versions, or GOAT StockX and just kind of like pay attention to what versions they are. Like it'll say, like you were saying, it was PF for Jordan or whatever, and then I can't remember what it is for Nike. It's something else, but you'll know because there's extra stuff attached to the shoe name. And so that's the way to do it. If you are looking for something and you are here in the States and you're looking for something for outdoors, there's very few modern shoes that are capable of being like super durable. So you can have a couple of options, or you do have a couple of options, one of which is not buying a mainstream brand here, and it's buying a overseas brand like an Anta, a Leaning, a Wade brand. Even then though, some of them are starting to really cater towards indoor play now too. But a lot of those shoes are, you know, from China and stuff, and so they do make them so that they're durable for outdoor play because that is their primary place to play. Now, if you're looking for something that you can just grab here in the States easily, like on a Foot Locker shelf or at a Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. I know a lot of people hate me when I say this, and sorry, but it's true, but go retro, bro. The retros have all the tech in them. Like the modern shoes don't have all this. They don't have full length zoom with extra zoom in the back and carbon fiber plates. They don't do this anymore. The LeBron 23 did, and boy, we're paying for it. That things are expensive, you know what I mean? So you can go for an Air Jordan 11, and Air Jordan 12 is great outdoors. You just gotta break them in. Air Jordan 13 is solid as well. Foamposite would be a good choice. It's just a tank, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of shoe. But going retro is a viable option, and as long as you're going with a later date retro, so from like 1995 onward, you're not skimping out on tech. A lot of times they have more tech than the new stuff. A lot of the new stuff is like foam-based tech, not air-based tech. So yeah, so go retro, you should be okay. Especially if you go to an outlet and you find retros on clearance and stuff, like that's a great move. I'm not talking about like early retros, so don't go for the polyurethane stuff. No Jordan 6s or 8s. The 7s are okay, 7s are solid. But stuff like that, you know what I mean? So like just be aware of like what the shoes are made out of, and you'll be okay. Like the stuff that we played in as kids outdoors is what you could play in still outdoors. They make them almost the same way. You can also try tennis shoes. Tennis shoes are made for courts. outdoor courts specifically, just make sure that you pay attention to which style tennis shoe they are, because there's like 3 different kind of courts. There's the clay court, there's the hard court, which is the one that you're gonna want because that's what a basketball court is outside. And there was one other one that I don't remember what it is. It's kind of turfy. Yeah, it's not grass, but it's something similar.
I'm sure they've played Mario Tennis. They know.
Okay. That's a deep cut.
I'm just saying, there's 3 types of courts.
I'm just letting you guys know that they make shoes for each court, so you gotta pay attention. You can't just be like, oh, that's a cool looking tennis shoe. It's gotta be a hard court tennis shoe. But with all of that being said, sound off below and let us know what you think about the Air Foamposite 1 in this carbon fiber wrapped looking colorway. Do you think that this is awesome? Or are you like me where you're like, it kind of bothers me that it just doesn't go. But either way, sound off below and let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.